Okay, fall garden tour. It's October 1st. I figured I better get a little bit of this recorded before I lose track of where everything was next season. So this last row was just pumpkins and small gourds. This was the Mennonite sorghum, which didn't probably grow. It needs more heat, I think. I think I'm too far north for the Mennonite. Next year I gotta try a sorghum that maybe has a little bit less growing degree day requirements. This year was probably on the cool side also for Palos Heights, Illinois. This was Sunflowers Titan. They did pretty well. Of course, the squirrels got most of my seeds, but I saved a couple of heads worth. And the center three posts, three rows were pumpkins. As you can see at the other end, nothing real impressive this year. Dill Atlantic Giant are the salmon ones, and then just some random warty goblin and some other jack-o'-lanterns. And here's my Motherland okra. It is growing very well. It's definitely pretty massive okra. This stuff is over 2 inches thick at the base. I can imagine the taproot is fantastic, but I don't know if I'm even going to get fruit off of it. This is obviously not native. Motherland okra is from Africa. So we'll see what happens. It's October 1st. It doesn't have much time left, I don't think, before it's just too cool. Alright, so these Bloody Butcher 60-inch rows. Yield was okay. Corn probably, I don't know, yield was okay. It had probably the equivalent of 40 pounds per acre of nitrogen and nothing else. And growth was pretty good. Kernel fill was pretty good. I don't think it was a great year temperature-wise though for this stuff. It's kind of a long maturity corn. It's beautiful, burgundy red, but there's a cost with that time. So I should have got it in earlier this year. I didn't know we were going to have a cool season though. So that's my fault. In the interrow was planted some various legumes and squashes left to crawl. This last row was, there's a few bananas, a whole bunch of walking stick kale, which I'm trying to figure out how I can get cover crops in this bed and leave the kale. So we'll see what I decide. I don't think I'll get the benefit from the kale that I would from the hardcore winter cover crops, hairy vetch or Balanza clover. Although this is technically my corn end, so next year should be legume end. So I probably will do predominantly cereal rye in these 4 rows, these 4 areas. I will take these bananas out. I'm not going to try and perennialize them here. There's another one there which I will do the straw bale mulch and overwinter it. They get bigger and bigger each year. The one in front is massive. It's over 14 feet tall now. And I am in Chicago zone 6. So anything else? There's nothing else really exceptional here, I don't think. This arborvitae growing in the dead stump of the elm is doing pretty well. Those growing closer to the buckthorn are not quite as impressive over here, but they're still growing. They're doing all right. And The volunteer white oak is really doing well since I cut down the elm tree that it grew up next to. And this thing is going to be a lot more beautiful than that shitty old elm was. It was a decent sized elm stump. Ooh, and this elm stump I didn't quite get cut all the way, or killed all the way, I should say. It's cut all the way. Had massive volunteer gourd section back here. Knobby gourds, decorative ornamental stuff. Worked out real nice. At least, or approximately a yard of biochar, although the last biocharing event I had, I ended up with too many big logs, and so I lost a lot of my char and it became ash. So hopefully I don't suffer with high pH when I mix this in with the compost. And then this is the north row, the north bed, and it was all various jack-o'-lantern sized pumpkins sown here, which I've mown up. As you can see, it's October 1st. This is last year's cereal rye, which I had laid down, and it did a fantastic job of weed suppression this summer. Probably tied up a buttload of nitrogen, although the pumpkin still did pretty good. And I'm now mowing. I got to reduce some of the cereal rye because I got to have a seed bed to get next year's, or this fall, the winter cover crops sown anyway. This patch, although it doesn't look like much now, was my purple potatoes. And this is the sweet potatoes, and they were that interesting variety from the grocery store that were purple skinned but white fleshed. The flavor was exceptional, so I thought I'd give it a try, see if I could get them to grow here. So far, the ones I've examined, they were pretty small. So hopefully I get somewhere with them. A little bit more. I did plant a row of Bloody Butcher along the very north strip here, but a lot of it was decimated by rabbits in the spring, the seedlings, and then squirrels later in the fall, plagued with squirrels here. And so I've just mown the rest of it down. Let's see. Okay, I think that's it for this one.